This is World in 2 Minutes, brought to you by trtworld.com. Let's take a look at the headlines. It is quoted by Russian media that Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko has announced they agreed on the direct military supply from a number of countries. Poroshenko was cited to have said that an agreement was managed with a series of NATO countries on direct deliveries of modern weapons, which would help to protect Ukrainians and win the conflict in the eastern provinces. A senior aide to the Ukrainian president had revealed on Sunday that they had agreed to get military equipment from 5 NATO countries, but 4 of those 5 swiftly denied any such deal had been reached. U.S. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel in Ankara said although Turkey has some limits to operate over the ISIS, the country can play a crucial role to prompt a regional campaign being developed against the ISIS militants. In his meetings with the Turkish political and military leadership on Monday, Hagel expressed that they were discussing Turkey's prospective role regarding the ISIS problem both in Syria and Iraq. However, Turkey seems reluctant to make a military operation targeting to the ISIS militants due to its 49 consult workers captivated in Mosul by the militants. A spokesman for British Prime Minister David Cameron said the British government is not making contingency plans for the possibility that Scots will vote for independence on September 18th. With 10 days to go before the vote, a poll showed supporters of independence had taken their first opinion poll lead since the referendum campaign began. The spokesman added the government's entire focus is on making the case for the UK staying together, and Prime Minister Cameron will visit Scotland ahead of the vote to continue to argue the case for Scotland's 307-year union with England remaining intact. Britain's 3 main political parties are due to set out this week the detail of and timetable for plans to hand Scotland greater powers if it rejects independence. Somalia's Al-Shabaab group claimed responsibility for the 2 car bomb attacks targeting African peacekeepers at a government convoy, the first such strikes by the group since it vowed revenge for the killing of its leader last week. Sheikh Abdulaziz Abu Musab, the spokesman for Al-Shabaab's military operations, told they are behind the 2 car bombs attacks. At least 12 civilians were killed in the first blast that aimed at a convoy of African troops and hit nearby vehicles. Al-Shabaab controlled Mogadishu and the southern region of Somalia from 2006 to 2011. It was driven out of the capital by peacekeeping forces deployed by the African Union. And we have come to the end of another World in 2 Minutes. For more stories and in-depth analysis, you can visit trtworld.com. Goodbye.